and welcome to this very special edition of Young Turks. I'm Shruti Mishra. Joining us today are two very special guests. One is a top Bollywood star and the other is the CEO of India's largest fashion e-tailer. Well, they might seem as different as chalk and cheese, but they are business partners today. Please welcome Anant Narayanan, CEO of Myntra Jabong, and actor Deepika Padukone.
Thank you.
So Anant, let me start with you. 2017 has been a great start for Myntra. You've seen a 160% growth at the end of recent sale. The brand has completed 10 years of its existence. Online fashion has emerged one of the biggest verticals. What do you think are the catalysts for growth?
So I think the biggest one, by the way, is actually our culture. I think we work as a very cohesive team, and I think we're doing very interesting things. I think fashion and lifestyle is going through a transformation. In e-commerce, by the way, typically people were looking primarily for discounts. I think that's changing. I think the customer in India is evolving. I think for good quality product and the ability to reach 19,000 pin codes, you know, it starts to actually make a very viable, sustainable business. So I think that's one big reason. I think the second big reason is, by the way, I think our private brands, of which we're here to talk about all about you today, right? And I think that's been a huge portion of our success and growth as well.
And Myntra is also targeting a GMV run rate of $2 billion in profits next year, perhaps making it the first VC-funded e-commerce play to hit that milestone. Are you on track to hit profitability?
Yeah, I think we are. We crossed $1 billion this year, I think, with Myntra and Jabong after the acquisition. And I think we're on track to cross $2 billion in run rate next year. Profitability we've been consistently improving. We've reduced discounting, we've improved supply chain costs. So I think we've done a bunch of things. We've increased the share of our private brands, all of which have actually contributed to the profitability. So we're very much on track. JFM 2018, if you're going to have me back, hopefully we can talk about the fact that we'll be profitable.
Deepika, coming to you, you launched your clothing line, All About You, on Myntra. You turned entrepreneur. First, tell me why the reason to turn entrepreneur and why choose Myntra exclusively for your line?
It's the girl in me that spoke to me. I think as every young girl, you want to, girls love dressing up. We love looking a certain way, and that starts very, very young for most people. And I think I've always, since childhood, had a very strong sense of what I like and don't like. I think my mother's sort of sense of dressing has had a huge influence on me and in my life. It's always been very simple, very elegant, very relatable. Even in my own style, I've always, it's always been, if you notice, I don't like accessorizing too much. The colors say a lot about my personality, and I wanted to make that accessible to other young girls who might like the way I dress, or like the colors, or like my taste or whatever. For me, it's not just about making the clothes available, but also empowering girls and women to make them feel like fashion is really an extension of your personality. I think the key messaging for me, which is why the brand also is All About You, which is it's really all about you. It's your mood, your body, the way you feel. So really about encouraging girls to dress exactly the way they want to dress, not the way their parents want them to dress, not the way friends in, there's a lot of peer pressure in school and in colleges to look a certain way or dress a certain way. And I want to empower young girls and women to, or even in offices for that matter. I think somewhere it's about my journey as well. I feel like when I was younger and when I was, when I started off in the film industry, I felt like I had to be a certain way. I thought actors had to be a certain way. I thought you had to dress a certain way and speak a certain way. And over a period of time, I think I came into my own, and I realized that that's what works the best for me. If people made fun of my South Indian accent, it's fine.
We have that in common.
I own it.
Take me through your collections. What is your style, and also who's your target audience?
Anywhere between 15, 16, right up to like 30s, 40s. I mean, we honestly, I think, but that's also more from a business point of view, and maybe to give us as a team a little more direction and clarity. But I feel like at the end of the day, the brand really speaks to all age groups.
Can you take us to the price point?
That again for us was very, very important to make it accessible. That was one of the first things when we spoke about this association. I think often celebrity brands tend to sort of hit a certain price point. I think for me it was very important to make it accessible to every young girl. So I think right up from 800-900
Okay.
to right up to 4,000.
So Deepika, tell me, how closely are you working with the team? Are you only taking care of the designing aspects, or also do you take care of the finances?
We launched in 2015, so I'd say it's been about one and a half. We're almost hitting 2 years now. I wouldn't say I know the business, but I can definitely say that there's a much better understanding of the business aspect of it from say 2 years ago up to now. But again, I think we have Anant and the team, amazing team that sort of looks into that part of it. I think more of my inputs come in at a creative level.
Tell me, what is the kind of transformation that you're seeing? You know, the new self-image of the new Indian woman. Fashion is now the new self-expression for them.
So three things, right? First, I think fashion is becoming a little bit of a self-expression of who you are, right? I think that's important. Second, by the way, as father of 3 daughters, I do think, by the way, that I think the modern Indian woman, if you will, is becoming much more confident, is much more self-aware of who she is, what she wants to do, right? I think a lot of, while there are still lots of biases, I think a lot of the biases are getting better over time.
I was at dinner once with Anant and his daughters came down, and they were actually giving me suggestions. It was such a, I'll never forget that moment. They were like, they were sitting, like initially they were shy, and then sort of got comfortable, and then we were sitting like this on a sofa, and then like all 3 of them surrounded me, and they were like, you know, I think that we think that you should add this to the collection, and we think you should add, and the other one was like, we think you should add this to the collection. But that's just so amazing, the fact that they think, you know, of it as their own. The fact that girls feel like today they have, you know, they have their sense of what fashion is and what their own style is, you know, and they were probably just 3 girls out of the millions of girls out there.
Well, on that note, it's time for a short break, but don't go anywhere as we continue our chat with Anant and Deepika Padukone. Stay tuned.